Karamilk, welcome to what? I'm too excited. Welcome to Facing Reality.
Hello, how we doing?
I'm so good. I'm really excited to talk to you. Obviously, would have liked to be sitting here talking to you at the very end, but you made it so close. I know that the queens who go home early are like, "Oh, I went home so early," but it can't be easy to go home right close to the finale either. Tell me how you're feeling.
Hmm. I don't know. It's it's weird. I feel proud, very grateful. I think also watching the episode, I feel like I did so well in each of the challenges. So it was more so a thing of like the frustration of what could I have done differently. But I think I've like come to peace with like it's a TV show. It is what it is. What happens, happens. You can't dwell on it too much because that's just not going to put you in a good headspace. But yeah, no, I feel proud of myself. So yeah.
That's exactly what I love to hear because, as you should be, listen, you gave us incredible performances. You're so charismatic, so funny, acting as well, which is like a beautiful surprise there at the end. And it was like so moving, but also, hello, design. I know you were like, it wasn't your strongest suit going in, but you made these two incredible dresses at the end. Your dress last night was my personal favorite.
Oh,
Tell me about what it's like to like develop a new skill on television while you're competing in this massive level.
so weird. And you don't get to see the whole process. Like I was literally spiraling. And the first time that I found out that the fabric was see-through, I was like, girl, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, just send me home at this point. So when I was able to figure it out, I was like, oh, wait, okay, it's not that bad. And I have an eye for design and like what looked right. It was more so just like putting it together. So once I figured out those pieces, I was like, okay, you can make something without sewing. It just has to look nice. It's a design challenge, not a sewing challenge. So I was, yeah, yeah.
Incredible. So I need to know, like, your eye is so good, your style is so good, and for someone so young, like, where do those references come from? And like, do you remember kind of your first artistic inspirations?
Um, I want to say definitely dance is like my main artistic inspiration. I mean, I grew up competitive dancing, and like obviously like drag is more like cunty, like fierce, like whatever. But I grew up doing more like ballet and like contemporary, and like that's really where like I connected with like the arts and stuff and like myself. And I think dance is like a healing thing for me. So when I was able to incorporate that and to do drag, it kind of like I found myself again. Um, but yeah, I would say that's like kind of where my artistic direction comes from. I think everything leads back to dance, whether it also be like there's so many ways that fashion like correlates into it as well, and just being in the dance scene and yeah,
There's like this regalness, this like elegance to your style, which I can totally see that come from dance. Like, movement is often like kind of not thought about first
yeah,
when like artists are creating, and that it can be such come from such a powerful place now that I'm thinking about it, especially with fashion. Like
yeah,
the way your dress moved as
yeah,
well and like tells a story. I totally see that. So
yeah,
that's
and
really
how you wear
beautiful.
it and like how the person wears it and tells the story of the outfit. I feel like is like that's what sells it.
Oh, that's so something I never thought of. So thank you for sharing that. I also want to know, like, in terms of doing this all on a reality television show, what was your nature, like, what was your relationship with the genre of reality TV like before being on it? And then were you surprised? Was it something that you were able to kind of anticipate what it was going to be like?
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the scene for a little bit, like a little while, in terms of like I've been on a reality TV show before, but I'm not gonna say what it is because it's so cringe. But I've been in the world of film and yeah, I've like done commercials, I've done acting. So like being around cameras was nothing that was new for me, but I think the difference was I've never been in a situation like that where I was there as Caramilk, but
Right.
moments where it was like you're out of drag, but how am I like I don't know. I'm for me, I'm very much like I separate caramel from myself outside of drag and I try to have that balance of life. So Drag Race was like a little bit of an internal battle for me because I was like, well, I want to represent myself well as caramel and I don't want to like I know my PR brain kind of turned on. I also work in PR. Do you think so? I was like, okay, I'm not going to respond to this because it doesn't affect me. It doesn't, I'm going to mind my business. But in TV, it's like, no, you need to say how you're feeling in the moment because that's how you're going to create the drama, create the storyline. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I mean, that's really interesting because as like someone who kind of tries to look at reality television, I'm often trying to compare it to like, your typical fame or typical performance work. And I always kind of try to argue for reality TV performers that, yeah, it's acting and it's more challenging. Like
Yeah.
or it might not be acting, it's performing. And yet there is this level of I find extra challenge because it is you. Like people aren't distancing yourself from the character. I mean, even when people hate characters on TV and they see people walking down the street, they're like, "Oh, you're a dick." No, now this is actually your personality, your drag persona that you have to carry with you in life.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I thank you for bringing that up. I mean, I do think that that's what reality television is all about, is like that it's actually quite subversive and this beautiful
Mhm.
way to kind of walk those two worlds. Did you find you were able to like break through creatively in that way? Were you able to find something new between like your kind of more typical dance actor performance and bringing yourself into it?
Yeah, a little bit. I think if anything, it's like watching the show, I feel like I was a little more introverted than I thought I was as a person. And I think there was moments where like I knew what I was thinking, but I didn't interject.
Right.
And I think being there, it was like, well, it doesn't really matter. But then watching it, I'm like, no, that's pretty much the whole episode. And you didn't interject in that moment. You didn't say something. So it's like watching it back, I'm like, no, you can't take any moment for granted, especially being on TV. I think you probably relate to this, but I guess Big Brother, it's like filmed 24/7, so you don't know what's going to air, and it's also filmed live. But I think with Drag Race, where a lot of things get filmed, but it's like if you're not talking in every moment, you don't know what's going to air and what's going to be part of the storyline. So yeah, I think now that I've been there and I've seen how it works and everything, I'm ready to go back and do my big.
Yes. That's exactly it. We're ready to have you back. And hey, I need to stop for a little moment and give you your kudos because you didn't listen, you had your voice heard in last night's episode. I really loved that you pushed back against Van a little bit. And that actually was, to me, one of the most powerful moments in the whole season. Van is an incredible talent, but you sticking up for your design in that way was really, really powerful. And when people think of reality television shows, like, and maybe especially Drag Race, they think of like a little fighting, they think of cattiness. What is that like to actually fight on reality TV?
It's weird because it's not, to me, it wasn't a fight. It was like that's just how Van talked. Like that's how she is. And but I also knew like anyone that would say anything that would put her in a light that's like if I was like, "Oh, my wig was better," she would be like, "No, it's not," and then it would become like an arguing conversation. So that was just gonna go on and on and on. And I was like, "Girl, I'm over it." Like this at this point, like, what can I say? The judges said something, so if you want to believe what you believe, believe it. But I think it was close. I think it would have been really fun if I beat her because I would have shaken her up a little bit. But honestly, work. She's an incredible designer, and she deserved the win. So.
She is, but also so are you. And like I said, so I'm so glad that there was like that space in there. And between what you said before and that, I'm thinking like for people listening or people, something that they can take, like what I'm taking from this is like I'm constantly trying to like edit myself because I feel like I'm too much, like I'm a lot. But when you watch that back, you're not thinking I'm too much. I'm sure, like I hope, like did you feel good about and like how you were saying, like you kind of wish you took your moments more instead of thinking, oh, this isn't important right now, but like I'm gonna put myself in there. Like I'm getting from this is that like people shouldn't edit themselves so much and like say what you want to say.
That's the thing. I think I was editing a lot and I was like, represent yourself well, do this, you know what I mean? But it's like you kind of just have to forget the cameras are there, which like there was moments like I think especially last night, like me and Ebony's conversation that really took me on the side of the competition where we got to talk about our experience being Black. And that was a moment that I was like, there's someone here that sees me for who I am and like we can relate to each other. And it just felt like the cameras weren't there and we were just conversing. And that was so nice because while you're filming, I'm sure you know, like you're so isolated from the outside world and from your people. So like to have someone there to see you and like connect with you in that moment was so special. Um, but yeah, I think there was moments where like I wish I talked more, but also I feel like watching reality TV, you can't dwell on things too much because you're just gonna go into a spiral of like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And listen, from the audience perspective, you were perfect. You gave us everything. We were right there
yeah,
with you. And yes, that conversation last night with you and Ebony was so beautiful. And I mean, I love art because what's so powerful to me is that you were able to take all those like really complex like feelings that, you know, that people all wrestle with in different ways, and then it's something you've experienced your whole life and kind of visually represent it in your design that way. Like that is so powerful. What did that feel like watching back? And I'm sure you've got like really great reception.
yeah. I mean, my phone, I can't even like, yeah, I've looked at a lot of things. But yeah, I feel like I did a viewing party last night live and the reception was so, so great. I think it's just, I think the challenging thing was to watch it and feel like so proud of myself in the way of like, I made that, like I did that, I told that story. And then for the judges to not receive it the way that I expected it to be received was like a little devastating. And then I think also to have the validation from like people there, like online, to be like, well, we feel like you did really well. It's like, thank you. But at the end of the day, your opinion's not what got me into the top four. So it doesn't matter. But yeah, yeah, it's hard. It's really hard not to dwell on it.
But for me, reality TV is like the most powerful kind of tool to open up society in ways that it needs to be opened up and to like think about things in different ways. And so that scene, Drag Race is such an impactful, like global franchise. That scene is going to create these ripples in people's lives that just like last on forever. So I have to thank you like personally for that. Thank you for everything you bought to Drag Race Canada this year, Canada's Drag Race this year. And I need to know what what are your kind of like artistic aspirations for right now, which could include rest because you deserve it. And then where can we like follow along because we're not done with Caramilk.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me online at caramel.queen, but it's caramel with a K because copyright. Um, but
And
yeah,
cause better.
well, yes. But yeah, no, I'm hoping to do more things like performances, obviously, but I really want to do like a tour of some sort,
Yes.
and more like curated drag in terms of like choreography, dancers, but also like having a concept of the numbers and really take myself back to when I grew up competitive dancing, and doing all of that and kind of bring it into the drag world on a larger scale. So, that's what I'm hoping for this year. Can't wait to see what happens.
Front row center.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait. And a moment for this look. Oh my God, you look
So,
incredible.
thank you so much. Oh,
Those eyes. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and thank you for everything you gave us on Canada's Drag Race this year. Can't thank you enough.
thank you. Mwah.
Ah, bye, babe.
Bye.
I was not recording. Oh, yes, I was. Yes,